Welcome to another video. We're starting up where we left off, and you can see the large area that we have done, and we're going to continue doing, and we should be able to finish it hopefully in this round. So we're still adding and still growing here. Now I could have just straightly walled this off, which I might. I'm looking at this, and is it worth doing going around that zip? I don't know. So let's change our mind. We'll do something else with that down the line. Let's shorten the direction. Saves a little bit of work for now. We can build something out of it later. No harm. I'm going to get this outer wall finished, so we can figure out what we're doing with the inside. Build some houses, capture some villagers, or do whatever we can get to get something in here. We'll figure it out. Away we go. I think we're almost done. Take a look in a minute. Doing this without crafting mode takes about a year and a day, so. So you don't always see the pattern you're doing when you're just starting to put it together from the ground level. Once you get up here, everything becomes a little more clearer, and you can actually take shortcuts like we're going to do in a second here, just to avoid excessive and unnecessary building temporarily. We can do it later on. I said we can add an outside fortress, a gate to that. We'll do something with it. There's no saying that we can't. But getting this wall done is one of the more important events of this whole thing. You can see how big we are. We are gigantic. Good place to put a small town, or even just a few houses for yourself. Get some animals in here. There we go, we're at the end. And now we got our fortress base. The next step is to put a floor in here. What should we do? Well, let me think. What are we going to add to it? We go this area. We can go poke around and see what we want to use. Different kinds of stone. I'm looking what might be a nice subject to add to the bottom. We can try some of this stuff. It doesn't look the greatest. That there is light blue box. I don't think we want to put that down. We can do it all in bedrock, but it might get a little bit confusing. What do we got down here? We got red terracotta. Don't know if that would be nice. Let's see. Black coal. There's the bedrock right there. That's bedrock. Would be a nice build. Cobblestone actually might look pretty nice. Clip it, and it winds up over here. So now you can take the cobblestone. We can try to put that in. We'll see what it looks like. We exit out of this. And we're going to go down a little bit. Actually, go down a lot. Go down here at the ground level. And we're going to grab the cobblestone. And we're going to put the cobblestone. That actually looks pretty nice as the working floor. See, the thing about sand and dirt and some different types of dirt is what happens is if you build on them, they have tendency to collapse. Cobblestone, bedrock, coral stone, and a few others, they float. So I'll give you an idea. You go up, you can take out, take out, take out, take out, and it just floats there. So if you did that with sand, it would drop immediately and cause a major collapse. And in the long run, that actually causes you more damage. So you can't really build well on sand. And it makes it harder to do things. One thing you try to avoid is making it harder to do things. And see how quickly we're putting this in? You'd be amazed how fast this goes. And again, if we were doing this just for us, just in regular mode, again, it would take forever. You'd have to go out and actually find cobblestone before you can even use it or find a way to make it. And that's where it gets difficult. In regular mode, you can only do so much. And in putting it down at this rate, you can't. It only gives you maybe 10 or 15 after you make them. So now you have a limited amount of stone to work with. So building a house or a fortress in regular mode is going to take weeks, could take months, depending on how the game goes for you, you know. And I'm using the slide over here just so we can get some speed in here. But this is going to be our building base. And then from here, we can go build things. And it'll make it a little more interesting. And go back and we come over. And I'm going to, before we stop the video, I'll go up top and you can see what it looks like doing this. And it makes a definite difference. Now I try and doing this all in bedrock, which is more strategic, but looking at it, it is dizzying. And I do know my crafting mode. That's for sure. I've done a lot in it. Built all kinds of screwball structures, crazy rail lines. Sorry about the wobble. I got stuck there a little bit. And you can get lost doing this game. It's the time that you spend in here could be hours. You wouldn't even know it. If anything, it's a very relaxing game to do. And once you figure out the crafting process, you're going to have a ball. We're just doing a quick fill. I may fill some of it in when you're not with me, so you can move along a little faster, just to fill it up. And give you an idea. Here, slide back. Whee! You can do this too. Just don't back yourself into a corner. And since we're doing everything on the base, we can pretty much go in crazy patterns like this. See how it fills in so quick? As long as you're still moving, you hold that button down, it'll just fill, 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 and fill. You see the way it'll fill right in? So it worked like a bullet in here. We're going to lose daylight in a little bit. If you want to fill up quicker, you just go in these crazy modes until you run out of room. And then you go up from above it and you can fill it up. You see how quickly this fills up. You'd be amazed how fast this fills up. Now we're losing daylight. I'm going to go up a little bit. You see how much we've already packed in there. And that'll fill up ridiculously fast. Now, I got lamps I put in here. We're going to try and put some light down in here, because it's going to get crazy. We should be able to put a few of them in places to lighten it up, because it gets stupid dark in here. Called construction lighting is what I call it. If we go up a little bit, we can actually put them on the top of the walls. Let's do like corners. It's my shaky hand this morning. We'll do corners, light this thing up a little bit. Again, when you have crafting mode, you have unlimited supply of everything. It allows you to make the wackiest, the wildest designs you can come up with. And this whole thing is going to be nice and bright the next time we come in here. So we should be able to work right through the night without having to wait or work for sunrise. But you can place a bed anywhere on the property and use it to bring sunlight back in, which I'm going to show you in a second. We're going to go down and do it. Let's go down over to a spot where we have some room and it's open. And I'm going to show you that process. And you see how bright in there it is now? And we're going to go down. And I got a bed set up in the things here. And so you put bed. And then we're going to go over it. Click it and watch. Instant sunlight. And this also helps you with that. Now the sun's up again. So now you can go back to work in daylight. It's not too much of a nightmare. And then we can go back to building process. And when to build through the night, you can with all the lamps and lights around. So it's just giving you idealistics. A lot of these modes are already set in. And if not, you can go into the settings and set them up. And you can fill everything in here. You gotta be careful of some of the programs you add in, because some of them do not work. It'll actually cause a problem. And one other thing I want to mention, any programs you get from online, capture programs, special setting programs, programs for setting up the game faster, be very careful. Some of them are laden with viruses, and if you don't test those programs before you put them in, you will destroy your game completely, but unable to repair it. It has happened to me. It'll happen to other people, so you'll learn from those kind of mistakes. So be careful what you load up. I can give you some sites to load up where it's much safer. If you want something like that, just write me in the comments. I'll be more than happy to direct you into the more safer and better places to get stuff. But that's for more of the advanced player. I would wait until you learn how to do everything in here before you start doing some screwball stuff and wind up with a destroyed computer. We're going to do a little bit more and then we're going to quit. And I'll see you in the next one then. I'll probably fill a lot of this in so you don't have to get bored watching it get done. And we can move to other projects. Well, I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit me a like, hit me a subscribe, ask me some questions, and thank you for watching.